What up, boys and girls? Are you working on a product? Yes, then let's talk about new features versus stability, bug fixes, maintenance, refactorings, and all that good stuff that we as developers or product builders need to take care of as well. And users don't give a fuck. They want new features. That's about it. Or, of course, they also want stability, right? But they only want that if it does not work. And I have some experience in that arena. As you might know or have seen, Tresor One was had its troubles over the months. I went with fast solutions, whatever. There were a few things that went wrong a couple times. We had downtimes, we had glitches and stocks not showing up, whatever. In the past month or two, I think everything became very stable, very fast, also from a performance perspective. Actually, I don't have to put out fires every night, and it feels good. It feels very good. But on the other hand, I feel like I still have some catching up to do on automating processes and getting some reliability things here and there and all of that stuff. So how do you make that prioritization as a founder, as a developer, as a product owner, whoever who works on a product, as a maker? How do you make the prioritization of what to work on and what to say no to also? Um, so I wanted to share my thoughts on this because it's a big topic for me right now and in the recent weeks. Because I mentioned this in another video, there are many opportunities popping up and many directions we could go, that I want to go. But yeah, think of a Christmas tree, pointy at the top, and then it gets bigger down, in the base or in the bottom. So think of it this way: when the tree starts, right, it goes up like this, and think of the vertical line as a feature tree, right? The higher it goes, the more features you have. So you start with very simple features, and you start with them in an MVP state, and they work or barely work. The happy path works, and not the edge cases, etc., etc. But at some point, the early features specifically, but every feature you build, you have to get more bush around it, if that makes sense. You have to build tests for it, you have to cover the edge cases, you have to automate, etc., etc. So think of the wideness of a tree, like the x axis basically. That is the quality in a sense. So the more you penetrate upwards with more features, the thinner your tree will be. And the more you plan out everything and make everything, try to make everything perfect, takes you forever, and your tree will be basically a square. Like, you have one feature and it has top quality, everything is handled. Next feature, top quality, everything, you will get a square. And I feel like Tresor One is like a Christmas tree currently, like this. So we have new features that pop up, and we are trying to build the base and the features that we have. We put more quality in, etc., etc. So it grows like this. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. And every time people say, look, get into crypto, you need crypto in Tresor One, or you need real estate in Tresor One, you need this and that and that, you need internationalization, multiple languages. If I would go into internationalization, yeah, if I would move into other countries with this, or just introduce English as a language, it would be a very big penetration upwards, and it would take me forever to create the quality around it. Because if I introduce the English language, there will be users that are not from Germany, and this is a problem because they expect different things. They expect that they can track their portfolios in non-euro. They expect that their brokers are supported for the PDF import. They will expect that they have the local exchanges selectable in Tresor One. and so on and so on. And with every new features, there come new expectations. And especially if you get into a new market, like an international one, a lot of expectations come with it, and the tree shoots up. You have, of course, a lot of new users and a big feature there, but it takes a lot of time to support that. And for me, I think the right balance is to visualize this a bit in my head and think of, okay, now I've grown up enough base that starting to get to a square tree, I can make it higher again. I can, tap into the next feature that opens up all kinds of stuff, smaller features, but it requires a lot of things to, build that bush again around the x-axis, basically. And I can do that. And currently, I have to say, in the last 3 weeks, we are focusing a lot on the stuff around, because there are bigger things coming up that we are building in the back, like the iOS app, of course, people know. And if you release an iOS app, there is a shit ton that comes with it. Accounting alone, like, then you have to have in-app purchases by Apple. I have to, do all the process of accounting, etc., because it's not only Stripe anymore. In the background, you have to check who's a Plus member, who's not. Like this, of course, every company has to solve this, but for us, with the restrained resources, etc., it's a lot to tackle. So just a small thing of getting an app out, it's actually quite a big thing in the background. Also with the API and the data model and all of that, that was built for the web, now has to support multiple clients and all that good stuff. And that is a good thing. It's of course it's where we are growing to, and where we are getting into a normal business, how you would expect from all your apps and web apps. It's completely fine. It's where we want to go. I'm saying, as a founder or as a builder or maker or whatever, think about how far you shoot up with your features or market penetration, etc. And if you can support the back of it, like building the rest around it. This is where I'm trying to find a balance, and it's where if you build that bush around it, the product becomes stable and it just works. That kind of naming that I think we got from Apple. That is also the thing that I want to build, that I want to ship. I want to ship fast, of course, but I think our community forgives us that we ship out things fast and then build the stuff on top of it later. So they get eventually the feeling of, hey, this just works. Not everything, of course. There are a shit ton of edge cases in finance, but still, the main part gets bigger and bigger. That just works. And I think the important part here is to find the balance. Does that make sense? I hope the Christmas tree analogy was not that far off. I hope it made sense. Let me know what you think. Would you just build any feature, doesn't matter, and get the highest feature count, doesn't matter, of everything around it? Or are you a perfectionist and build every feature perfectly with everything around it? There are actually some good examples on this. For example, Pitch. I don't know if you know this. There is a startup from the people of Wunderlist, or ex-Wunderlist, and they have built Pitch, a presentation SaaS company. Pretty amazing. And they have so much attention to detail and quality, and everything just works. They launched with like 20,000 clients or something. Like, they had an insane beta period. But for me, as a user that just used it after the launch, everything seemed pretty perfect. And that is something where I think, man, I would love to launch like this, but it would take 2 years. And that's what they also said. They have built this for years, I think, before they launched, and I can't afford that. So I think I have to find a balance, and my balance is called Christmas tree. So yeah, let me know what you think of it in the comments. And yeah, you know the drill. If you want to support the channel a bit, like and subscribe and all of that stuff, you know it. Talk to you soon. Have a good one. Bye.